for me to break. I'm a shapeshifter at Paul's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, or free for you to throw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise.
Okay, let's actually try this out. So I'm just trying a new format, nothing too fancy, but I just want to see what happens in general and how smooth it is for myself. Anyway, so hello everybody. I am Coco, most probably better known for teaching teaching a little bit of basic Japanese in the Discord, which the link is in my profile below, and yada yada yada. Anyway, I'm not too good with what to say, and introductions. So we'll just go with that as a good introduction. Anyway, so where my plan right now is I kind of bought a little graphic tablet, and I was trying to see how much of this little graphic tablet I can actually use to improve the sessions if possible, right? So yeah, this is an experiment, so to speak, but also for the purposes of recording the VOD. So without further ado, this is we're gonna go into chapter 1 straight away. Chapter 1 is very important for a lot of people, right? Because this is where you learn very I won't say easy grammar, but the basic grammar, right? Because if you see here, we have here so it takes it's lagging a little bit. So yeah, this is all crap. This is the things that we learn in chapter 1, right? And the most important is probably right here, which is the wa particle. Because the wa particle is basically what we use to create noun sentences, and it will be, and like in English, right, when you learn how to speak a language, you need to know words, you need to know sentence structure. So wa particle here will be introducing us to basically how to build a noun sentence. So that's basically what the idea is. The no particle is possession, right? We will go through this when we actually see it. And then we're going to also have ka, which is going to be used for questions. And basically, yeah. And then also we'll be also talking about maybe the Dore series. So which is called the So, Ko, and A series, right? That being said, I want to say a few things since I see a lot of people. I disabled stream alerts, so if you do anything funny on the stream, I will not see anything, because I want this VOD to be basically about learning. I don't want a random like, hey, this person followed you on Twitch kind of thing. Okay? Let's just keep that. I'm just gonna say that now. Anyway, that being said, I don't know how much of this I'm actually gonna read all the way through, but we'll find out, right? So let's just start with chapter 1. I don't know how big this is on screen, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit, right? So usually what happens in the session is that I usually have someone read it, but since I'll be doing this alone, I'm just gonna read it all. Actually no, I'm gonna have some help. Right, so this is actually what the website, if most of you probably seen me use it, but you've never actually utilized it properly, right? So the reading speed is going to be a little bit fast, but don't worry about it, okay? We'll cover we'll take care of that later.
私は田中です。どうぞよろしく。
私はアリです。どうぞよろしく。
アリさんはマレーシアの学生ですか？
はい。私はマレーシアの学生です。
Alright, the reading is a little bit fast. It's okay. So one thing I do want to say is that these sessions that we do, we always assume that you've at least prepared basic katakana and hiragana, right? Because it's not that we don't have the time to teach you hiragana and katakana, but that's more of your own homework to do. Because in this server, we want you to learn how to speak Japanese. We want you to learn Japanese as a whole, not just learn how to speak or learn how to write. We want it to go both ways, right? Anyway, so basically, the sound that you just heard is how a normal conversation would go straight away. It's obviously a little bit fast. Don't worry too much about it, okay? Because in the real world, when you're learning Japanese for the first time, you probably won't speak that fast. So let's go, right? Here. Oh, I can't highlight it. Damn it. So here we, let's see. Let's just cheat with this. That's my mouse. Okay, so let's go to the first sentence, right? It says, Watashi wa Tanaka desu. Alright, first let's assume that you've only learned hiragana, katakana. You know nothing about Japanese, right? So you're gonna ask, what is all this, right? Okay, so we're gonna start. Watashi, right? Watashi, this means I or me. Okay? And then we have wa here, which is our particle, which we'll talk about later. And then we have Tanaka. Okay, Tanaka is a common name, so that's Mr. Tanaka. So this is a very common name. It's a very common name, as in, like, in English we have, like, oh, you Mr. Smith, you know, that kind of thing. So Tanaka is a very common Japanese name, right? So let's start with this sentence. So this wa particle is the introduction to basically building a noun sentence in Japanese, right? So I'm gonna drag this over here, and yeah, so the first thing that we learn straight away is basically how to use the wa particle. So in this case, the website doesn't really tell you too much how to use it properly. So N1 means the first noun, right? And N2 means the second noun. So for example, right, we have this explanation here. The most basic meaning is N1 is 2, right? N1 is N2, and they're both nouns, see? And the subject is marked by wa. So first thing you have to remember is that wa, this is this hiragana, you have learned it as ha, right? But if you use it as a particle, it's wa. Okay, so if you use it as a particle, it's going to be wa. All right, yeah. Okay, and then also one more thing is that in this syllabus, we use everything in polite form, which we'll only talk about much later. But desu is, for now, just remember that we end all our noun sentences with desu, okay? So, now let's go. Watashi, as we've gone through, means I, right? And then this is marking subject. And then John. So even if you didn't know what wa did, right? If you know what watashi means and you know what John means, then you can assume that here is am, right? So that's the basic of it, right? Let's change this color. I don't like red. Let's change it to a bit like greenish. Okay. No, that's too bright for stream. Dang it. Let's change to blue. Okay, that looks so much better. All right. So yeah. So basically here, watashi wa John desu, right? So remember that this wa particle here is to denote that this is the subject. And John, so basically, I gotta remove all this. Let's remove all that stuff. So basically, we're going here, right? John is referring to this. John is the second noun, right? And it's referring to the first noun. So it says, I am John. All right. So that's basically the first Japanese grammar we learned for today. Okay. Now afterwards, we go to a little bit here, which is dozo yoroshiku, right? I'm not used to using graphic tablet yet. So dozo yoroshiku. This is a very basic Japanese phrase that you will hear a lot in this website, right? Dozo yoroshiku is basically a greeting phrase that we use to say pleased to meet you. Should I disable cursor for this? I feel like I should. Hold on, let me just properties, capture cursor. Okay, because it takes away the magic of it. Okay. So anyway, so it says dozo yoroshiku, right? So this part here, dozo yoroshiku, is to basically to greet nicely, say pleased to meet you. Okay. And this is something that is very nice if you meet someone for the first time. It's always nice to say dozo yoroshiku, right? Eventually, you learn how to cut out the dozo and you just say yoroshiku, and you say onegai shimasu. But that's not for today. Let's leave that out. Okay. Now, down here we have oh, I forgot to introduce our speaker. So basically, here we have Tanaka, right? This is the speaker. So right now we finished Tanaka's speech. Now we're going for Ali's speech, right? So here we go. Ali says, "Watashi wa Ali desu." So you can see here he used basic noun sentence, right? This is Ali and this is I. So I am Ali, right? Where our wa is a topic marker. And then we have desu as our as the copula, right? Just remember, this is for affirmative ending. For affirmative sentence, right? Noun sentence. Okay? And you see he says here, dozo yoroshiku. So now he's also replying, hey, yeah, my name's Ali. Nice to meet you. Right? Then we go to Tanaka. Here. So let's... shite. This is what I want. There we go. There we go. So then Tanaka's like, Ari-san wa Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? So this word here, it's a lot of hiragana. Some of you might be like, oh, I only learned katakana. I've only learned hiragana. What is this? Don't worry too much, okay? This website here uses a lot of katakana just because of the way it works. So don't panic too much about it. It's the best way I can say it, okay? I'm just choosing a nice color. I still think this color is better. So now Tanaka here, he's gonna ask what we call a question, right? Because you can see here there's a ka. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry. I'll give you the website explaining what ka is, right? That's ka. Okay, so let's go with this part first. Let's delete that. Okay, need to get used to this. Dang. Okay, so you can see here, Ari-san wa Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? So, let's ignore this bit first, okay? And let's ignore this bit first. Now, if we take that away and we look at this sentence, right? We just look at this sentence. Ari-san wa gakusei desu, right? It changes the meaning of the sentence, obviously, but first let's go through with the basics, right? We know what a noun sentence is. So gakusei, right? Gakusei means student. Gakusei. Gakusei. Or as we write in kanji, gakusei. Right? Gakusei means student. So if you see here, Ari-san wa gakusei desu, then we can conclude that this sentence would mean that Ali is a student. Right? Where Ali here is denoted as a subject because of the wa particle. Alright? Now, that being said, we are introduced to something new now, which is this little hiragana, which is no. Right? No as in not no, but no as a particle. Right? Well, ignore the ka first. Yeah, ignore the ka first, right? Malaysia no gakusei. So the no particle is where we're going to go through our new little grammar. So let's just bring this page up and no. Okay, so the no particle, right, indicates possession. Can I zoom in on this? No, I can't. Okay, so basically, we have here N1 and N2. We have two nouns again, right? Yeah, sorry. People who are asking, Malaysia, right? This is Malaysia. Okay, it's a country. You can Google it later. Better known as MY. Okay, that's a country code. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, where were we? So, N1, no N2, right? So, basically, when you have the no particle, which is this little guy here, this is what we call a possessive particle. Particle. There's an I somewhere here. There we go. Okay, so to describe a noun, so to describe the second noun here, we use another noun, right? We place no between both nouns. And basically, what the first noun here becomes is that it's a modifier. Okay? This is what you call a modifier. Now, so basically, let's just remember what we had just now. Here, look at this example. Forget about this bit first, right? Because that's going noun sentence. Let's go with just this thing, the no particle, right? So it says this here reads America. So アメリカの学生です, right? So what happens? We're here right now. Okay, we're here. Okay, I found the disadvantage of not having mouse cursor. Okay, so in the example sentence over here, if we say アメリカの学生です, okay, the key word we're using is 学生, which is student. Right? And right here it says that to describe a noun with another noun, right? So we are describing the student, right, with the first noun, and we are describing the student as from America. So this is called an American student, right? Personally, we call this a possessive particle because we like to say that we call this a possessive particle here because we like to say that it belongs to something, right? So let's just clear up all this little mess. Let's use red text for this, right? Okay, so what we mean by possessive is because 学生 is student, right? A student that belongs to America. So an American student. So an American student, right? We are here right now if you can't tell. And then let's remove sex, this is gender. Okay, because you people are immature. Now we're talking about country over here. So you see here it says Malaysia no kite, right? So this is Malaysia, right? Malaysia. Okay, so Malaysia no kite. So kite means stamp, right? So Malaysia no kite. So no part meaning possessive, right? Kite belongs to Malaysia, so it is Malaysia stamp. All right. So that's how this possessive particle works. So hito is a person, right? And then onna is female. So basically, female can be anything, right? Can be a female animal, can be animal, can be well, technically plants. Let's not go. Plants and animals, they have all genders, right? So if you say onna no hito, you say the person is a female, right? A person that belongs into the female category. Okay. Now let's go with this one. Nihongo no sensei. So sensei here means teacher. Nihongo is Japanese. So a teacher of Japanese. See, Nihongo no sensei. So this sensei belongs to Japanese. So it's a teacher. It's a Japanese teacher. Basically, that's what it's going for, right? Nihongo no tape. In this case, tape doesn't mean duct tape, but it means like oh man, this textbook is old. It means like a clip, okay, a reel. So in the modern day, we'd say a video, right? So tape as in a recorded tape. So a tape in Japanese. So tape, Nihongo no tape. Then we have ownership, right? Which is what we've seen just now. For example, kodomo means child, okay? So if you say watashi no kodomo, then you're saying that this is my child because it belongs to you. Because watashi means I, right? Which is technically my, which is technically me. Okay? And then anata means you. So kaban is bag. So kaban, that belongs to you. So your kaban. No, cassette. I believe there is a word for cassette. Okay. Anyway, and kind. So kind as in type, okay? Type. So gaikoku no hito. So gaikoku, which if you've learned the kanji, is gaikoku, right? Gaikoku no hito. So a person who belongs to a foreign country. So gaikoku here means foreign country. So gaikoku no hito. So a person who belongs to a foreign country or a foreigner. Okay. And then you have kagi, which means a key. A key belongs to a room. So heya no kagi. Alright? Alright. That's a lot of red mess I left on that board. Anyway. Where were we? I feel like there's so many ways we can improve this. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so we've done this part, we've done this part, we've done this part, we've done this part. Oh, little ka here, right? Okay. Simple, simple, simple. Let's make things very simple. If a noun sentence right, which is basically all this, ends with a ka, it becomes a question sentence. Sentence, right? Plus ka. So, now back to the sentence. Malaysia no gakusei means Malaysian student. Where's my, come on. What is happening to you? Oh dear. So, Ari-san wa Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? Let's clear that mess. There we go. So, now he's asking, let's change that color. So, Malaysia no what? I thought I changed color. There we go. So, Malaysia no gakusei, right? Referring to Ali. So, Ali is now the subject. So, Ali. Now let's make the sentence breakdown here. Ali blank, right? Malaysia no gakusei, so Malaysian student. And then we have desu ka. Remember, we always end it with des, and then ka changes this into a question. Why is this not, oh my god, what's happening? Okay, so if we have ka, this becomes question. So usually, right, if we don't have the ka in the sentence, we can straight away say Ali is a Malaysian student, right? But now when we have a ka, which I need to erase it now, right? When you have ka over here, then it becomes from, instead of Ali is a Malaysian student, to turn it into a question, you have to say is Ali a Malaysian student? Question mark. Okay. So right now we have, so basically now Tanaka is asking Ari. Okay, we're going back to our sentence over here. So Tanaka is now asking Ali. Ari-san wa Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? Right? And here he's saying, hey, Ari, are you a Malaysian student? Right? Obviously, he's not saying you directly, but, right? In Japanese, when we refer to people, we can sometimes refer them by their name. So like in English, say, Ali, is Ali is Ali from Malaysia? Is Ali a student from Malaysia? You know, you can ask like that. You not necessarily you have to use the word you, right? In English, sure, it sounds weird. In Japanese, it kind of flies by. Okay, and then he replies with the last sentence here. Hai, watashi wa Malaysia no gakusei desu. So, I put the mouse capture back. Hopefully, you guys see it. Yeah, it should be somewhere there. So now he replies hi, right? Hi is a new word. So remember, if someone asks a question, you know, like, are you a boy, right? If you are, you say yes. I'm a boy, right? If you say no, I'm a girl, right? So in Japanese, we have the same thing, right? When you ask a question, especially a yes or no question, right? We have responses, right? So hi in this, so basically yes. Ooh, I just realized a mistake. Blue on blue is a bad idea, huh? Let's change the color. Green. Okay, so if I say yes, right? Actually, let's just put it here. If I say yes, you respond with hi. If you say no, you respond with ie. Okay? Shoot, let's just double I that, okay? You respond with ie, right? So now Ali is saying hi, right? And when he says hi, he means yes. Comma. Then watashi wa Malaysia no gakusei desu. So he's saying yes, I am a Malaysian student. Right? So, in practicing a new language, right? Let's just delete everything. In practicing a new language, we always, it's always encouraged, right, to basically learn how to do sentence building. So that's why when we go through the grammar here, right, it should be here. Yeah, when we go through the grammar, even though it's simple, right, we can just answer a question with yes or no. It's better to repeat the sentence so that you learn the structure, the grammar for it. So, with this example here, N1 what? Actually, no, let's open that note. What is it inside? There we go. That's a very important suffix there, so we'll go to that in a bit. So, let's see. あなたは John. So let's look at this part here, okay? あなたは John-san ですか? So here he's asking now. あなた means you, right? Let's build the components, right? あなた is you. We have the wa particle, which is basically topic marker, and then John, and then question mark, right? So if this is how I like to explain, break sentences down to explain to people. So あなたは John ですか? John-san ですか, right? So right now we have you, John, question mark, right? Which we know we can translate ourselves by saying, are you John? Question mark, right? So we respond with yes, I am John. So in this case, he's answering yes. So he say, はい、私は John です, right? So this is how you say yes, I am somebody. So say はい, yes, I am John, right? So you're gonna say はい、私は John です, right? So this is how you say yes to a yes and no question. And then people are going to ask, well, can't I say, yeah, it's me? Or like, yes, full stop. You can. But the thing is, what's the point, right? If you only know how to answer yes and you don't know how to build your sentences, then, you know, in terms of learning Japanese, it doesn't really help you do anything, you know, so to speak, right? Now let's go through this interesting bit at the bottom here. So down here, you can see something interesting, right? It says san here is a polite suffix. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm pretty sure most people who learn Japanese probably learn it from anime or like watching stuff, right? And you always hear some things, right? First of all, this is called the san prefix, right? The san prefix. San prefix is basically to refer to anybody, right? And it's a gender neutral suffix, not prefix, sorry, suffix, and you add it to anything, anybody's name, and by doing this, you are referring to a person politely. So, for example, we had Tanaka, right? So Tanaka, and then we say Tanaka-san, for example, right? And then this is just to refer to him nicely. In English, it's like saying, "Hey, Mr. Tanaka," right? Instead of just saying, "Hey, Tanaka," you know. Just remember, you never put yourself with san. You never refer yourself with san. Okay, just put it that way. If you do that, you give the image that you're kind of you give the image that you're a bit over your head of yourself. Put it that way. Anyway, that's not important. So this part is done. Now let's go with the other ones, right? And also the more popular ones. So if you're talking to someone above you, for example, you're talking to your teacher, right? Now, so when you speak to your teacher, you don't want to call them "Hey, Mr." or "Hey, Mrs." right? You want to refer to them as a teacher. So let's say Tanaka is my teacher, right? I don't want to say Tanaka-san because it doesn't work in English, okay? In English, it's kind of like, I think in English, you kind of say, "Hey, for example, let's say your teacher's John, right? Hey, Mr. John, blah, 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 blah. I had problems the other day. How do you do this homework, you know?" It works in English, but in Japanese, no. It's all about respect, right? And if you can use sensei for your teacher, then you should, because this is basically having the correct respect for the appropriate person. So in Japanese, let's say Tanaka is our teacher, right? We have to call him Tanaka sensei. So it'll be Tanaka sensei, right? You have to refer it as sensei, right? This way you are giving them the respect they deserve. That audio is there, never mind. So where were we? Yeah, pretty much. So usually, and also remember, in Japanese, we don't refer to people by their first name. So for example, let's just say your name, let's just use the most generic name, right? If your name is like John Smith, right? In Japanese, they will always call you Mr. Smith. They won't call you John, right? In English, it might be like, "Hey, call me John." Right? But in Japanese, it'll be "Call me Smith." In Japanese, it'll be "Call me Smith," right? You almost always introduce yourself with, in the Japanese context anyway, Japanese people always introduce themselves by their surname. They never introduce themselves by their given name, right? They will always introduce themselves with their family name and expect you to call them by their family name. And most of the time, you don't know their given name anyway, right? It's that the younger people, like when I say younger, I mean like if you're going to university and exchange programs, all that stuff, that's a bit different, right? But in the traditional Japanese world, when you meet someone new, you probably will almost always know them by their family name, whether you know it or not. Okay? So anyway, that's a little bit too long for that bit. Let's go with this bit here, right? So remember, we've been through the part where we said, "Hey, are you John?" "Yes, I'm John," right? But what if you're not John, right? You have to say no. So this is our introduction to a new little copula at the back here, right? So remember, first we learned desu, and then we said this is for affirmative, affirmative, right? Now we're going for non-affirmative, right? Which is called dewa arimasen, right? Now, let's read this text over here. So when we use ie, we use it at the beginning of negative replies to questions. So basically, when you say no. No. Okay? note that the affirmative sentence is replaced by a negative ending, right? So in Japanese, it's a bit weird because we don't say positive and negative. It's easier to say affirmative and non-affirmative, okay? The reasons of this you will eventually find out later, but for now, basically, we don't say positive and negative. We say affirmative and non-affirmative. Affirmative is for things that are neutral and positive, and non-affirmative is generally stuff that is negative, okay? So, that being said, we basically what this last bit of the sentence here says that basically this sentence can exist without the without the no bit, right? This sentence is completely valid. But first, let's go with this. Now, you see it says here, "Ie watashi wa," it says here, "Ie watashi wa John de wa arimasen," right? So the thing is, he's answering no, right? "Ie." And the reason why there's a no answer is because this is a conversation, and the conversation was, "Anata wa John desu ka?" Right? John-san. Let's never forget the John-san, right? So the question was, "Anata wa John-san desu ka?" Right? So that there was a question. And when we have a question, then we answer, right? So the question was, "Hey, are you John?" And then in English, we would respond, "No, I am not." Right? In Japanese, for the sake of practicing a noun sentence, right? Instead of just saying no, we want to say the whole sentence. So we say, "Ie, watashi wa John de wa arimasen." Right? This de wa arimasen is important because now with this we've learned three things already. Okay? One is noun sentence. Actually, we've learned four things. The first is a noun sentence, right? Where we use nouns with desu. For example, "Watashi wa John desu." You know? And then the second thing we've learned is non-affirmative noun sentence, right? Which is "de wa arimasen." Okay? The third thing is question, which is blah 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 desu ka. And the fourth thing we've learned officially is the no particle, right? Which is possessive particle. Okay? So as of now, right, it's probably been about an hour-ish into the stream, I think. No, it's only 40 minutes into the stream, and we've learned four things already. And these are basically the building blocks of Japanese. If you don't know this grammar, right, then it's really hard to make sentences later on. Vocabulary is something that you just have to practice, and it'll come eventually. But this is basically what we have to work with right now. Also, I forgot to mention one more thing. You've noticed that, let's change the ink for this one. You've noticed that when you use questions, when you have a question sentence, you notice that we have a full stop instead of a question mark, right? Now, in normal Japanese, there is no exclamation. Technically, there is no exclamation mark. There is also no question mark, right? These are things you see in the in manga, but generally speaking, all Japanese and all like official pen and paper Japanese sentences has only a comma, which looks like this, and a full stop. For example, "ie," which is what we had just now, right? Comma. Well, actually, no, this is not. This is the English comma. "Ie," comma is the dash. Let me rewrite that again. "Ie," comma, "watashi." I'm writing kanji. I'm sorry, but yeah. "Wa John ではありません right? And then we have a full stop. This is the full stop, not this. This is bad. This is the full stop, right? And that's it. And then see the ka here was also with a full stop. Okay? Let's just have it right there. Great. Now, perfect. Now with all that, we've learned 4 things, and we've finished the first page of this book, right? So now we go to page 2, or the second reading text, right? Let's listen to what they have to say.
あなたもマレーシアの学生ですか？いいえ、私はマレーシアの学生ではありません。タイの学生です。私はマナです。どうぞよろしく。
Okay, obviously that was fast, right? Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. We don't care. We just want to hear what they sound like. Now we know what they sound like. Now let's go slower, right? Let's zoom in this a bit, actually. Actually, no, let's zoom out. There you go. Okay. So as soon as it appears, okay, so here we see, oh my god, we're learning new things already. So here's the 5th thing we're going to learn today, which is mo, right? We'll talk about this later. For now, pretend this is wa. Okay, so now we have a new guy. This guy, he's Mana. Mana's a guy. We will talk about his origins in a bit, right? So now, Tanaka's asking, pretend this is not mo, pretend this is wa. Anata wa Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? Right? So what we've learned so far, anata means you. Malaysia no gakusei is Malaysian student. Right? Let's change the ink because I really dislike using red. Dang it. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Okay. Alright. So, you know what, just anata mo Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? For now, pretend this mo is a wa. Okay, just pretend. So, now what we've learned is ka means question. Right? And then so it's hey. So what we know is you and Malaysian student. And then question mark, right? So we can bring our sentence to, are you a Malaysian student? Question mark, right? That's a question. And then we go to the second sentence. He says, いえ、私はマレーシアの学生ではありません. So you can see this is a long sentence, right? Don't worry about it, okay? Now remember, he says いえ, which means no. 私はマレーシアの学生ではありません. So you can see here, this whole thing is one phrase, right? This is one phrase. Okay? So this is how noun sentences work, because now we have Malaysia no gakusei, which means Malaysian student, right? So 私はマレーシアの学生ではありません. So here, Malaysia no gakusei, we know is Malaysian student, right? And we know that the wa here is a topic marker, which goes back to watashi. So he's saying that, no, I am not, right? This tells you that it is not, right? A Malaysian student. Full stop. Okay? And then he replies here now. He says, Tai no gakusei desu. Now, we don't know what Tai means, but we know what gakusei means. Gakusei means student, right? So we know that possessive particle with the no means that the gakusei belongs to Tai, came from Tai. Now, Tai is basically short for Thailand, right? Thailand, right? Okay? Thai, in Japanese, Thailand is just Thai, okay? There's no land. It's just Thai, okay? So Thai means Thailand. So he's saying Tai no gakusei means he's a Thai student. So look at this. We have 3 characters so far, right? Mr. Tanaka, or Tanaka sensei. Tanaka sensei, right? We have Ali, right? we also now have mana. Oh, I better draw that properly. Mana. Silent. Hey, I fucked that up. Downside is I don't get to keep the sketches I had. So anyway, I fucked that all up. So Anyway, watashi wa mana desu, right? And then you can see here. Now he's saying that no, I'm a student from Thailand, right? And then he says watashi wa mana desu. So saying, hey, no, you got the wrong guy. I am not from Thailand, right? And now he says watashi wa mana desu, and you can see he's now introducing himself. I am mana, right? Watashi wa mana desu. This is what we've learned in the first thing we've learned today. Introducing yourself. Watashi wa mana desu. Right? I am mana. Douzo yoroshiku. Douzo yoroshiku. Right? Which is pleased to meet you. Okay? So, everything here should be a-okay, right? I may or may not be going fast. I have no idea, right? This is the only thing we've skipped, but everything else we read here should have been covered in the first text in the first page we read, right? Malaysia no gakusei, meaning a student that belongs to Malaysia. Ka, indicating question. Ie, answering a question with yes or no. Right? Watashi wa, the wa particle, which means subject marker. Right? De wa arimasen, for negative sentence. The no particle, once again, possessive. Basic introduction, I am mana. Douzo yoroshiku, a greeting phrase. Okay, these are what we've all covered. So now we are going to introduce ourselves to something new, the mo particle. So what is this mo particle right here? Now the mo particle, sorry, I should have written that better. The mo particle refers to something simple, which is also. Okay, so mo particle means also. What the mo particle does is that it doubles as also, but it also has the wa functionality by including it as a topic. So what I mean by this is because as soon as I find it, there we go. Right. I forgot this. There we go. Right? So mo means as well, to or also. So what happens here is this. So you can, like in English, when we use also, you have to use the also in addition to something, right? It can't just be random. So これは学生の机です。So 机 is a new word for table. Okay, whoever's learning this for the first time, these are all words you have to if you ever come to the website, there's this thing called new words. It will tell you all the meaning of the words, right? I won't go through them in detail, but yeah. So tsukue means table, okay? Gakusei means student. So kore, we will go through this abomination later, but this is this. Okay, これは学生の机です。So, this is a student's table, right? 机 belonging to a student, so a student's table. And then, それも学生の机です。Saying, hey, this is the student's table, right? And then, それ means that. We'll talk about kore and sore later. Okay, don't worry. But for now, just remember, sore means that. Mo, also. Gakusei no tsukui desu. So basically, there's like a bunch of tables here, and then there's like two people talking. Hey, this over here is a student's table, and that over there is also a student's table, right? That's how it goes. And then we have the second sentence, right? This case, you see, there is no, this time the sentence is just mo by itself. There's no wa particle, right? Anata mo Malaysia no gakusei desu ka? Saying, so anata means you, right? Malaysia no gakusei, we've already learned, means Malaysian student, right? And then, what's wrong with the thing now? And then ka means question mark, right? So we can do this with you a Malaysian student, right? This is all we know so far, right? If this was a wa particle, this translation is correct. But with the mo particle, which means also, then it means that we also, let's change the ink so it people can see the highlight, right? So when we have here with mo, which means also, then we have to carry it forward with it, are you also a Malaysian student, right? And that's how you add on top. And that's how to use the mo particle, okay? So remember, things we've learned. Wa particle, which is for noun sentences. We've learned desu, which is to end noun sentences. We have dewa, arimasen, which is to negative of a noun sentence, right? We have the no particle, possessive. And then now we have mo particle, which means also. Okay? That's 5 things we've learned. Click. So that covers this entire page right here. Okay? Now we're going to the third text, and may or may not be the final text. I'm gonna see how long the video is, right? I don't want it to exceed more than 90 minutes. Now, you can see, ooh, I know what I want to talk about before we go here. Let's talk about kore, sore, and are. Right? This is the most important and also annoying thing about Japanese. Right? This here would a lot of people would say, if you don't understand this, it's really hard to learn Japanese, right? And it's not making fun of anyone though, right? Because in English we have this and that, right? In Japanese, there's this, that, and a different kind of that. There's a third that. Okay? So let's go through. Let's start with the actual headache of Japanese, right? And this is the limit of how much I want to like talk about for today, because it's a lot of information. Now, first of all, kore, sore, and are, right? These 3 things. It means this, that, and that. Now, in English, we know that this is always something that's near you. And that is something that's far from you, right? Now, that's just you. How about this? How about the person you're speaking to, listener? Right? So this is you. You use this when something is near you. You use that when something is far. And for the listener, it doesn't matter so far, right? In Japanese, it does. Because if it's you and the listener, I make a simple table, okay? Now, if it's near you, if it's far from you, okay? Now, if it's near you, you will say kore. And the listener will always respond with sore, right? Because if you say, hey, what's this? Then he say, oh, that is blah blah blah. Now, if it's far away from you, you say sore, right? Now here's the problem. If it's near the listener, oh, I messed this up, didn't I? Near, oh yeah, I did. Dang it. Okay, so if it's near you, you say kore, right? If it's near the listener, you say sore, right? If it's far away from you, you say sore. Now, oh, I messed up how this was supposed to go. But if it's far away for the both of you, right? So it's far away for you and it's far away for the listener, then you say are. Okay, this is a very horrible diagram, so I'm going to delete it right now. Not save. Delete. Okay, let's have a better example. Okay, this is you. Okay, this is who you're talking to. Listener. Now let's use 3 different objects now. We have a table. We have a book. Okay, and then we have let's say a car. Okay. Let's say bus. Let's just say a school bus, okay? Because, yeah, let's say it's a school bus, right? It says bus. Okay, now, this is a book, right? And this is a table. Okay, now, we're not using these examples right now. Oh, actually, holy crap, these examples are almost correct. Ooh, I like this. Let's change this example for a bit. Erase. Let's change this for a bit. Okay, let's change this to clock. Okay, there's a clock by the wall. Okay, perfect. Now, here we go. If you have a book next to you, right? You say this is a book, correct? So in Japanese, kore means this. Let's change the ink now. Let's change it to blue. Okay, so now you say this, right? And then this is now the topic mark. Oh, sorry, this is now the topic, right? Because wa indicates topic. And then hon desu, this book. Full stop, right? So in English, we will have to fill in the blanks by saying this is a book. Right? In Japanese, we don't have like the word is and a, right? So in Japanese, say this book, this is a book, right? So kore wa hon desu. Hon means book, in case I didn't point that out earlier, right? So here, this is you. You are speaking now. The book is in your possession. You say this is a book. So then you say kore wa hon desu, right? Now, let's remove the nihon no for a bit. Okay, so now you're talking to another person, right? And you say, hey, there's a clock behind you. That is a clock, right? You say that is a clock. Toke means clock. All right. So, それは時計です. That is a clock. Alright? So you can see here, we're building noun sentences, right? This and that, technically, we consider this as a noun. Well, it's not a noun, but, you know, a noun sentence is basically wa nani nani desu, right? As long as it has en desu, this is what we call a noun sentence, right? We're now introducing to you where instead of having a noun here, we use this or that. Okay? So back to where we are here. So the second sentence here, right? It says that is a clock. That is a clock, right? Now, the reason why that makes sense, right? Because it's far away from you, right? And you're talking to a person, hey, that thing over there next to you, yeah, that's a clock, okay? That so far is perfect, right? So so basically right now we've learned this, right? For kore, right? That means sore. So then you're gonna say, okay, I've learned kore, I've learned sore. Then what is this are, right? What's this are? Are. Now, are also means that. Oh shoot, what's happening now? It's having input lag. Why? This also means that. But what do you mean by that? There's already one that here, right? This has a second meaning, okay? Now, if you, here, are refers to things that are away from both the speaker and the person spoken to. So, you just finished school. Let's just put it this way. You just finished school. Both of you and your friend, you're kind of walking outside. And you're like, hey, is that the bus? Oh, crap, we're going to be late. Now, forget about the crap, we're going to be late bit, right? Hey, is that the bus? So now, both of you see the bus. Both of you are not near the bus. It's far away, right? Let's just say you're like over here, right? You and your friend. And then the bus is already like moving, right? And you're like, oh my God, that's the bus. You know? So then this is when you say are. Because are is to refer to something that is far away from both of you. Okay? The bus is not near you. The bus is not near me either. The bus is over there, far away from the both of us. And this way, we use the word are, which means something over there. Okay? So we have here, are wa bus desu. That are is a bus. Are wa bus, right? Okay. Okay. So that's where we say are wa bus desu. So that's the difference between this, that, and the third that, and the second that, right? And we're gonna just read the last text for today, right? Because this is basically a lot of information to swallow already. So let's just use our this and that into practice. We're going to some readings.
あの女の人は誰ですか？
あの人はマリアさんです。マリアさんはフィリピン人です。あの方はどなたですか？
あの男の方は山本先生です。日本語の先生です。
Okay, so last bit here. I can't get everything. Let's try and cheat with this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now there's a new lady here, and what is wrong with this thing? There's a new lady here. What in the world? Okay, now this here is Tanaka. And here is Ari. Okay, so now you can right. So we've learned kore sore, right? And then there's also kono and ano, which it functions the same as kore, sore, and are, right? Sore, are, and these things means this and that, right? Now they translate into kono, sono, and ano, right? And what happens here is these three things have the same meaning and the same function. But remember, we've learned that no is a possessive particle, right? So if you say kono, there must always be a noun. So for example, originally we learned that kore wa hon desu, right? This is a book. Right? Now, if we use the word kono, we say kono hon wa watashi no hon desu. So, hon here, this is the kanji for book, okay? Now, you can see here, this book wa is, okay, topic marker. Watashi no hon desu. We've learned that hon is book, and watashi no hon will mean my book, because possessive, right? So this book is my book. Okay? This is how the no particle works. Alright? That's just a quick rundown. So, just like this, these two people are talking now. Ali and Tanaka. Right? They're both talking, and I say, and Tanaka's like, hey, that person over there, this lady here, right? Now, see, she is far away from both of them. Far away, right? Far away. So, they use ano. Onna no hito means female. Person, which basically means woman. Okay? So this means woman. Wa dare desu ka? So dare is a new word for who. Right? So ano onna no hito wa dare desu ka? So ano means that woman. Right? Wa dare desu ka? Who? Question mark. Right? So then we rearrange the sentence to get something like this. Who is that woman? Right? Who is that woman? Is basically how the question goes. Okay? And then he goes, ano hito wa Maria-san desu. So now Ali says, hey, that person over there, ano hito wa Maria-san desu. So here we have Maria. Maria. Right? So ano hito, that person. Dang it. Wa Maria-san desu is Maria. Full stop. And then Maria-san wa Philippinjin desu. So here we have a new katakana word again, and this means Philippines. I probably misspelled that. Philippine. There we go. Philippines, right? So Maria-san wa Philippinjin desu. So jin here means person. So Philippine plus person equals Filipino. Right? This is a conjugation for another day. But yeah, Maria, for now we just know that this means Filipino, right? A Philippine person. The lines on top are the lines on top are high intonation. And I'll go that in a bit. So Maria-san wa Philippinjin desu. So Maria is a Filipino, full stop. Right? So okay, about the intonation thing. Yes, it's a high intonation. I may read differently. That's because I learned this in a different part of Japan where all the readings are upside down. So just so you know, my readings are not necessarily like the standard Japanese readings. I better say that now. Okay? Right. Anyway. So let's go with the third last sentence, right? It says, ano kata wa donata desu ka? So here, these are things I will cover later. I will cover like maybe next week, or well, not next week, but another day. Dare means who, right? Donata also means who, but extra polite. Okay, this is the extra polite version of who. I'll explain that another day. But here, kata also means person. It's just like hito, hito, right? Which also means person. But kata is an extra formal version, right? So, あの方はどなたですか? So, where are we? All right. So now here, let's change ink because or else everyone's just gonna. No, let's change to green. So what's happening now is that Ali has said, "Hey, that person's Maria," right? He's saying, "Hey, this person's Maria here," and then Maria person is from Philippines, right? And then he's now saying, あの方はどなたですか? So now he's being polite, right? I'll explain all this on another session on the extra words and the politeness. But for now, just remember, kata is person, donata means who. So now he's asking politely, who is this person over here? Who is the gentleman? Who is that person? Okay? Then Tanaka replies, okay? あの男の方は山本先生です。Right? So let's look at this here first. 男の方. Kata means person. 男 means male. So that man. Okay? Just remember that. あの is that, right? As in over there. Because remember, that man is far away from both of them. That's why they use あの, right? は山本先生です。So this guy's name is 山本。Right? And you can see here they use Yamamoto Sensei. This text bubble right here. Right? You see he uses the word sensei, which means that he's a teacher and he's Mr. Yamamoto. Okay? And then he responds. So you can see Tanaka says, あの男の方は山本先生です. So he's referring to him as a teacher, and that sets the tone saying, hey, that's a teacher, okay? If you talk with him, you must refer to him as a teacher. That's why we have the sensei suffix. Okay? And then now we have here, 日本語の先生です. Remember, we learned this just now. Sensei means teacher, and 日本語 means Japanese. Right? So Japanese sensei means a teacher who teaches the Japanese language. Right? And that is the end of this page. Okay? So he said, so you can see here, he says, 日本語の先生です, and he ends the conversation here. Now, this is where we usually would go to text 4, but here is where I will draw the line because we've learned a lot already, and learning any more within 90 minutes is going to be too much, right? So this is where I would say that the session will end and that the learning for chapter 1 is going to stop here, right? And now, if anyone's still in stream, I open questions to chat. But in the meantime, if there are no questions, I'm going to just explain some bits of the website, right? So here you can see, let's switch something else. Here you can see, right, this website is jplangs.tough.ac.jp, right? I'll post it in chat for once, right? This is the website that I use. Okay. And this website here is something that I've used as I was learning Japanese myself. That's why I use this material to teach. I know some people have the Genki textbook. Some people have other textbooks like Mina no Nihongo. They're not bad. This is not the best thing ever, right? Everything has its ups, everything has its downs. The thing is, the positive thing about this website is that everything is free, right? The Japanese I've learned was basically in a book, and when I asked my friend, hey, I need a copy of the book because I want to refresh my Japanese, he's like, hey, why don't you just use the website? I'm like, what? And then he showed me this. This is basically the entire textbook we've learned on the website. Okay, if you ever come to this website, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs. I'm going for the 7th tab, right? It says new words. Right, it has new words, and all these words here, look at this. These are all the words we've learned today, right? For example, watashi. If you click kanji, it says kanji, and this is the kanji for watashi. Yomikata means how to read. Watashi. And if you click, see?
私
And if you click this button, it says imi. It will tell you what it means. So for example, right? And then as you scroll down, this is what you can learn, right? These are things that, as much as it's nice to go through, having to go through with them really takes a good amount of time, right? And for the interests of all the VODs, we want to go through grammar. And this is where we trust that people who want to learn vocabulary at their own pace. Kanji, I won't say it's not important, but for now, if kanji is too hard, go by it really slowly, right? There's a bunch of kanji here. If you manage to memorize them, great. If you don't worry about it, right? There's a lot of time, there's a lot of everything. It's a slow learning. Now, after that, there's reading. We skip reading because reading is actually not for a beginner, right? And then there's listening. So if you want to practice your listening, you can basically click this.
一家。それは私のカバンです。
Right? So you can so basically this is where is it? Oh, there.
例。
So this is the example, right?
これは誰のカバンですか？
それは私のカバンです。
See, Laura says,
ローラさんのカバンですか？
私のカバンです。
はい、どうぞ。
どうもありがとう。
That's just an example, right? And then here. So that's kind of how it works. And then you click next. So that was just an example, right? And then there's supposed to be a picture that loads. The website might be a bit. Oh yeah, there we go. Right? So maybe that part didn't work. So then we have a next practice. For example, you hear a bell.
2。
あれは何ですか？ああ、あれは時計ですよ。マリアさんの時計ですか？いいえ、田中先生の時計です。へえ。
So you see here, there's a lot of Japanese we heard. It's really fast. Don't worry about it. If it's too fast for you, forget about it, right? Learn at your own pace because listening is not easy, especially if you learn something new. What you can do is conversation practice where you learn how to read this, right? So, これは, for example, here, right? You say, これは自転車の鍵ですか? I'm not going to go through what it means for now because I think this is all next week's stuff. So don't worry too much about it. But then there's also drills. You can do drills to practice your own Japanese, right? To basically practice sentence structures. For example, we learned the wa particle, right? So we know how to use wa. Watashi Maria, right? So we know that it says watashi wa Maria, right? Saying, hey, I am Maria. And then see, watashi wa Maria desu. Watashi wa gakusei desu, right? This part here, it teaches you, it's basically, basic drills, right? And then now, renshu means practice. This is where you do it yourself. So you have watashi, you have mana. So then you know what to do. Watashi wa mana desu, right? Say, hey, I am mana. And this is basically practicing how to make your own sentences, right? It's basically practice. And this is the grammar bit, which is basically has all the grammar. It's on the left side. So for example, if I click kore wa en desu, then you will see this is basically all I use to explain things, right? Everything I use to explain is almost exclusively from this website. And basically, pretty much, yeah. So, that being said, that's basically all the time I'm going to give